Let's explore the handover act, how it is displayed in the timeline, and how to pass a vehicle to a driver. Now we come to the vehicle handover section, which has filtered data for only 2 cars of the fleet, and where I can see all of their acts. We have 3 acts. The last 2 were created by the system. This can be seen in the description of the act type column car transfer to the fleet. Acts of this type are generated by the system each time a new car is added to the fleet inventory and is to be used in it. Unlike the previous ones, the first act features the fleet-driver type, which in turn indicates that this car has already been allocated to a specific driver. Note the vehicle's registration number. It is clear that by one type of act it was added to the fleet itself, dated February 3rd, and by a different type, dated February 19th, it was provided to the driver. The names of the person who carried out the transfer and the driver who received it are also specified. The table itself contains more information over to the right, which is sourced from the data in the filled-in act. For example, the kilometerage of the vehicle and its photos, and uploaded notes on its damage. Let's see how this is displayed in the graph. Go to the corresponding timetable section. It's filtered by the same 2 vehicles as in the acts section. We see the first and second vehicles. The car with the license plate number ending in 27 is the one that was previously transferred to the driver. Opposite, in the graph, we see a scheduled event, which indicates that the driver, Zainabas, was supposed to work on it. If you click on the event, you'll see the period when it was at his planned disposal, from mid-January 25th until February 26th. Below, gray rectangles represent the actual state of things. That is, it is possible to understand in whose possession the car actually was, despite the planned schedule. For example, Zainabas had the car. He could drive it. The corresponding kilometerage and trips can be viewed on the left. But it was not transferred to the driver through handover act, but instead was under the responsibility of the fleet, at least until the 19th of February. And after that, it was handed over to another driver named Ahmed Raza. This is demonstrated by the rectangle that starts on the February 19th and continues up to the current moment, indicating the actual situation. Let's try to hand over the car with the license plate ending in 89 to the driver Mohammed Bilal. I can see that according to the plan, he's supposed to work on this Toyota until the middle of the 26th of February. But in fact, the car still resides in the fleet. To do this, go to the vehicle handover section and click on the transfer car to driver green button at the top right. Here we select the driver's name, we need Mohammed Bilal, and the car with the desired number plate. The form itself is quite lengthy, but its items can be customized upon fleet wishes. That is, it is possible to either delete them, hide them from the view altogether, or make them optional. And yet, certain fields are required. Let's move from top to bottom, filling out the act. Mileage, the kilometerage from the car's odometer. Damage. If there is no damage, select the No option. However, if you select Yes, the system will prompt you to upload photos of the damages. For example, if one image is uploaded, the system immediately offers to upload the next one. There is no limit on the number of images. You can also mention the level of engine oil, coolant, and the availability of documents for the car below. It's not necessary here, but let's select at least a few. Next, we see several more blocks for pictures. Exterior, outside, and interior, cabin, dashboard, engine and luggage compartment. In this case, only a frontal car photo is required. In our example, we upload one required photo and an additional photo of the odometer. Add comments at will. Remember that all these blocks and fields can be customized, made mandatory or hidden. Once the act is created, it appears in the list. This is a fleet-driver type of act because we pass the car to the driver. It has a waiting for accept status, which means it is pending for the driver to confirm it in his personal cabinet. In the meantime, we can scroll to the right and see that the odometer readings are already displayed, even though we haven't filled them in. This data comes from the car's GPS tracker integration and will be displayed alongside the data that can be entered manually. We can see the relevant details of the act: the absence of documents and manually entered kilometerage, normal engine oil level, and system warnings about coolant, along with photos and information about damage. You can select the act and browse its data in a more convenient look: pictures of the car, damages, and the parties, responsible persons, who carried out the handover process. You can also delete such an act. Let's have a look at how the handover act you created will look like from the driver's point of view in his personal cabinet app. In Mohammed Bilal's personal cabinet, we can immediately see several things. The status of the vehicle is displayed at the top, currently not available. Below is a reminder of the next event from the scheduled calendar. As soon as the act is submitted in MyTaxiCRM, the driver will see it in his personal cabinet. It can be opened here, where you can see its status, in this case, pending confirmation, and all other information that was provided by the manager during the creation of the act. To accept it, all you need to do is hit the Accept button. The driver also has the option to reject if he disagrees with the stated information, for example, if he finds damage that is not reflected in the materials. After all, such an act works not only from the fleet to the driver, but also between drivers of the same shift. For now, we accept the act via the blue button. At any time, the driver can return to it, view a photo of the real state of the car at the time of taking the vehicle to control the situation. Let's go back to the MyTaxiCRM dashboard. After refreshing the page, we can notice the following. The status of the act has changed to confirmed, and the car has been given to the driver. To see the changes in the schedule, go to the timetable section. Earlier, we saw that the car was supposed to be assigned to the driver, although it was de facto at the fleet's disposal. But on the evening of February 25th, a small gray rectangle of an event appeared, the period of which will grow. It indicates the period of time when the car was actually in the hands of the driver Mohammed Bilal. The event will display the duration until one of three possible scenarios occurs. Either the driver returns the car to the fleet, passes it to a shift colleague, or the fleet manager forcibly removes the car.